Alright, so I wanted to post a video just explaining a little more about myself and my situation and why it was that I chose to start DoorDashing like almost like up to 18-hour days most of the time. Um, I guess where to begin. Uh, I've always had like a problem with kind of mental health and depression and all that. And I think during this pandemic, uh, the first year of it, I was doing pretty good and working full time at a regular job. And then I switched jobs, went to work for a big brown company, delivering packages all day. And just doing that for like 12 hours a day was not only like physically exhausting, but it was just like mentally draining and depressing because I switched to that job thinking, oh, this is what I'm going to do for my career. This is what I'm going to do for the next 30 years. And then as I started doing that every day, it just like got more and more depressing. And I don't know why. I think just having my future laid out in front of me just kind of scared the shit out of me. And so that job ended up not working out. And, I tried a couple other jobs in between then. And I had DoorDashed before. And so for most of the year of 2021, I didn't really do a whole lot. I was very, very depressed and didn't even realize how depressed I was getting, but I knew I just entirely lacked motivation for everything and started losing enjoyment in everything. And so I stopped paying bills. Like I stopped paying rent. I got like 10 grand behind on rent. And eventually I did get that caught back up, but the time came to renew my lease and the property management were like, yeah, we're good on you. We're gonna not renew your lease. So not only did I not have the money to like just go rent another place, like I had no money saved up. And so I really didn't want to go live back home. I'm 32. I didn't want to move back home. So the other option was my car. And as I was getting more depressed, I actually, in the beginning of November, decided to get into therapy. And then in December, finally got on some medication. And really, it was my lease ended in at the end of November, and so beginning of December, I was sleeping in my car in Central Illinois, in Peoria to be exact. And I had already been door dashing a little bit here and there, and so I kind of figured, well, screw it. I'm stuck in my car. I have a car. I have a cell phone. Part of like therapy was like kind of starting to take effect. I was just feeling better about myself and being more motivated and just wanting to take better control of my life. So I just kind of had that epiphany one day where I was like, hey, I'm stuck in my car all day. I have nothing better to do than to just at least just drive around and make money. So I just started doing that all the time, and I just really kind of started to focus in on it and pay more attention to what I was doing. And then I started noticing, like, man, if I do this more and more, like I'm consistently making at least 20 an hour or more. So I just kind of kept pushing it until eventually I was doing from 9 a.m. to 3 a.m. Like, just days in a row, and just really pushing myself and really realizing, like, man, I can make at least $400 a day doing this if I'm consistent at it, and if I work every one of those hours. Because on days when I had something come up where I have therapy on Wednesdays, so I'll sleep in an extra hour. My therapy's from like 10 to 11. So then from 11, I'd start working. So I would notice, okay, I'm $40 short today. Okay, I can account for those from those hours. And I knew exactly why I didn't make that money. So yeah, I just realized, like, man, if I'm consistent at this and I, set these goals, like, I can make that in a day. And so it just really gave me like a boost of, I don't even know if it's confidence or what, but just the ability to take control of my own life and be like, this is what I can do. I'm not helpless. And so yeah, I made a lot of money in a short amount of time. Was it 10 grand in exactly a month? No, not exactly. It's like maybe 5 weeks, 4.5 weeks, I don't even know. But what I'm saying is the potential is there. I made, $2,700 in a week that I really, really pushed it. And I think it's up to you. If you want to work that hard, if you got the time. Like, when I had an apartment, I would stay up way too late anyway and always be tired, so I might as well be making money. I don't know. This was just my situation, and DoorDash kept me from starving and being cold at night. Like, it gets cold here in Illinois. This car, the 2013 Chevy Impala, it runs most hours of the day. And as long as you keep her oiled up, change the oil, as often as it needs. I don't know, she's treating me pretty well so far. She's got over 200,000 miles. There's been some bumps in the road. There was a week where I pretty much just sat like a sitting duck because there was an ice storm and I was out dashing, making a left turn, not even going that fast, but icy spot. I turned my wheel, car kind of kept going, and I slid into a curb. Thankfully not another car or anything, but I hit the curb pretty hard with that front passenger tire, bent the stabilizer arm, tie rod. Yeah, no bueno. So, I'd gotten a hold of my insurance because I have full coverage. I ended up like waiting a week on them to tell me like, oh, well, we'll pay anything over $1,000. So I would have to come up with that first $1,000 for the deductible. And I was like, well, how much are these parts actually? Because to take it to a shop, it was going to cost me $1,300 because I also needed to get new tires. So it was, well, how much are these parts that I need to fix this front end? It was gonna be like $200 for everything I needed. And now, not everybody has this luxury, but my family has a building out at my grandma's property. They've got a car lift there, bunch of tools. My cousin's pretty handy with fixing cars in that. And so I fixed it for the price of the parts and that, and a lot cheaper. Of course, had to take it in to a tire shop to get the tires and then get a realignment. But I think rather than spending $1,300 after getting, and I also got a third tire because that one needed replaced too. This one only got replaced a couple months ago. So I think for everything, rather than spending $1,300, it was like maybe $900. So saved a little bit of money there. And yeah, it's a learning experience, you know, just to keep money. You really need to keep money set aside in case something comes up. All right, so I'm back. My phone overheated from sitting in the phone holder on my dash. I'm facing the sun right now, so I have to make this quick. But point being, set money aside because you never know what's going to come up. So yeah, that's why I'm DoorDashing. Is been living out of my car for a few months, and I probably could have gotten myself out of this situation a few times over now. But one thing I really want to rent at least a 3-bedroom house. I have myself and my son part-time, which that's another thing. But and then I actually went to school for music production, and I have a lot of gear for recording, and I want to have a room separate to have as my studio, to where I can also, so I can work on recording music for myself and maybe some friends. And then I want to have like a podcast studio in there, because I also do stand-up comedy. That's another great thing about DoorDash, that I totally, one of the main points of why I do it too is that my son is to be available to go do anything I want at any time. And like, we have open mics Wednesdays and Thursdays, so I'll work until 8 o'clock, then go roll in to the jukebox, do a set, and then either I can go hang out with some friends, or I can hop back in my car and keep dashing for the rest of the night. And I just love that flexibility. And then also, if there's any time I need to pick up my son, especially if it's like a last minute kind of thing, if there's an emergency, I can be there, and it's great. So yeah, I really value being able to have that freedom, not having a boss, making my own schedule. It really just seems to work out for me, and I'm happy right now. And that's like really valuable to me. So yeah, that's why I'm doing this. And I just wanted, that's why I got on TikTok and shared my tips, is like, it literally probably saved my life this winter. So I wanted to be able to share just some advice and tips with other people on how I am able to do it and, you know, actually make a little bit of decent money at it. So I do intend, you know, with this channel to share more tips and all that, but I always still want this to be something to where I can kind of do a vlog and make track of just my progress with life, mental health, like my career, just my goals, things I want to do. And eventually there's going to be a podcast on here that I'll probably bring some of my comedian friends on with. And I'm really looking forward to that, because a lot of funny guys down at the jukebox, and I think you guys should know them. And I'll probably be doing some skits with them on TikTok as well. So it's not just going to be a DoorDash thing. I like doing fitness. You know, you got to make fitness. You got to get your life. You know, I've made a lot of mistakes over the years and learned a lot from those. And I don't know, I just think there's advice to be shared on how to avoid certain things. But yeah, I'll probably be posting some of my comedy as well. Coming up March 5th, I will be a 1-year open micer. So then I will kind of at that point feel more comfortable sharing more of my stand-up. I'm going to be taking a trip down to Austin, Texas soon to hit up a bunch of mics down there and just kind of celebrate my 1 year. I'm going to take a little solo trip, just enjoy myself. And So yeah, if you guys want to like, subscribe, I promise you there's more to come. Getting myself in more of a stable situation to where I can consistently make content. I think that's going to be very important. So if you guys want to subscribe, that'll really help me out. I'm definitely planning to bring value to you guys. And another way of doing that, I think, because I really want to travel, to, hit up as many different mics as I can within driving range. But in theory, I think I can DoorDash anywhere. So I'd like to go to some different cities and DoorDash there. That's my plan in Austin, is I'm going to go down there and DoorDash during the day and then hit up the mics at night. But I'm going to put my theories to test and see if I can make good money in other cities too. And I will share that experience with you guys. So if you're interested in following along, awesome. Like, subscribe. I have no graphics yet, but this is going to grow. I do have, a Mac computer that's in storage with Premiere and iMovie on it. So if you stick around, things will get better, I promise. Yeah. Welcome to my channel. I hope you stick around. If you made it this far, thank you.